So let's have a little chat and something that is coming to mind to me. And I kept hearing, like, what are you waiting for? And what I mean, what are you waiting for? It's almost like I kind of got the concept of like waiting for someone to save you, waiting for a savior to come, waiting for someone else to start it. And I think a lot of females and feminines, and I too, have struggled with this concept of someone else coming to save us, someone else coming to do the work for us, someone else coming to take that burden and load off of us and give us the answer. And I have learned the hard way. And I think that this is a collective message where it is within us to save ourselves, because no one else is going to do the energetic spiritual work for us, and no one else can do that work for us. And the hard road that I have come to pass was that I needed to do all of that energetic work. I needed to do all of that clearing out the junk and the chaos and the trauma and the energetic attachments and the little girl within me holding on to all this pain and fatigue and anger and resentment from the past of things that I felt like did not go my way, whether valid. A lot of you, I'm sure, can relate to this, but it still didn't change my circumstances until I started addressing these things for myself. I went a long time, and again, I'm not perfect. I don't think anybody's journey is ever complete, but I have come across so much more shifts once I started taking that energetic alignment effort more seriously. And what I'm hearing as a collective message, and I think all of us always need like a reminder of this, is that people and situations and things around us, I believe, can be symbols and signs and synchronicities and helpers on our journey. But no one else can save us but you and myself. And I kept hearing, what are you waiting for? I kept hearing, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for a savior. Collectively, I think a lot of women are waiting for someone else to do it when they are the ones with the power within them, that they don't even realize that they are capable and able and have all of this buried deep inside of them. Like, I see like this flame of power that we all have forgotten that we actually have, that you have. And I know this for myself because I went on a long road of forgetting. I went on a long road of having it when I was younger, losing it, and having to build that back up. And that it's almost like a muscle memory back up of like, oh, wait, no, I really did give my power away, didn't I? Like, all these things came along and I was dependent on other people to change and other people to fix things, but yet I was still dealing with a lot of things within myself that I didn't actively address. And again, no shame or blame, because I think a lot of us aren't taught this. And I think sometimes we are exposed to little messages, little alignments, little signs, little nudges within. And I think it takes going to those darker places to shut out everything around us, to finally listen and to stop ignoring it. And I think a lot of you out there or maybe have come to this place, or maybe have been through trials and tribulations and are now anybody energetically aligned with this. There is probably a reason, and that would be what I would be speaking out about. Is there's something within you, there's something within all of us women, divine women, that you are more powerful than you realize. In my belief, in my experiences, and what I've learned and what I remember as a kid, and knowing that there was something wrong with the way things were set up, and seeing my mom be really subservient in her life, and knowing that that wasn't right, and knowing that women should be more empowered than they were, and that now, and learning, though, this is also a caveat to this, that being empowered doesn't mean that you get so masculine you lose your femininity. I did that. And I know for a fact that a lot of you out there probably do that. You get so fed up with seeing things around you happening and seeing things happening that you're like, oh, I'm going to go so in the opposite opposite direction. I'm going to be so tough. I'm going to be so in charge. I'm going to be such that boss bitch. And no one's going to ever get to hurt you, do anything with you, or shut you down, and you're going to be in control of your life. And you go so far in the other direction that you lose a lot of that femininity. I have done it all. I have been there through it all. So I know firsthand that the second I got back into more of like a balance, and I think it's always kind of a journey. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's always kind of a journey for those maybe who've been on it for a little bit longer. You start to realize like, oh, I'm tired of doing everything. I'm tired of being so in control. I'm tired of being so like and like aggressive. And not that you can't be empowered, but I was like holding on to a lot of like anger and aggression towards like men and masculines in general. Now I have realized that I can be stern and have boundaries, and that is not being a bitch. That is not being moody. That is not being too much. That is being respectful of myself and what I deserve. And you out there knowing the same thing. Like, you can be respectful of knowing what you deserve, be in your power, be in that, I would say, having a level of power and dominance, but not letting it completely take over 100% of like your personality. Because that's when I've seen where it's gone too far and women kind of have like lost parts of themselves. But that'll get into that into other subjects, because that's such a long drawn out thing, and that is things that I will be uncovering more and more. My experiences, my I would say perspective on what I've seen and how I've made shifts over time. And I think, again, like I said, everything's still a work in progress, but I'm sharing my journey for those who are on earlier paths, earlier starting of this path. And you just know that there's more out there that either you haven't been told, or that you feel isolated, or you feel alone, or knowing that women should really have more than they have currently. Women shouldn't be struggling like moms, single moms, trauma, narcissistic abuse, sociopathic abuse, mental abuse. Those of you who have been pushed down in your life, those is who I speak to and connect with, because I was her. I came out of that, and I found ways to climb my way back up out of that trench. And progressively, my life has increased in more freedom and more self confidence and more abundance and more, I would say, companionships that were more spiritual and in line, and more opportunities and shifts in my life. And again, it's still a journey, but it's so far from where I've been. So I feel like I have enough to converse on this. And I have seen the darkest of places and found ways to find love and light to transmute that. Does that make sense? And what I have learned, I feel like there's so many women out there struggling because they have been removed from these teachings and this inner knowing, and blocked energetically in this world and in this reality that wants to keep you small and wants to keep us um, in this like forgotten phase of who you really are and who you originated as, and your bloodlines, and how women used to come together as a collective connected to a divine source in unity, in community, knowing the connection to nature and Mother Earth was very empowering. And what did they do? They saw us as a threat and they tried to take us out. How many of you know and have that gut thing that when you see or hear anything about the witch trials, or all that went down, you feel some sense of this inexplainable feeling of like rage and pain and sadness for what has happened? There's a reason for that. And you and I have had generations of stuffing it down, and toxic masculine energies trying to eradicate that connection and keep you in the dark. And my whole point is to keep you in the light and to wake you up to your true power and potential, and giving little tips and tidbits of what I've learned to empower you, wake you up, and send energetic sessions to help align you when maybe you can't find that for yourself. whether that's little Reiki sessions or ASMR sessions that I will be continually posting on here. So if any of you feel like that is something you care to involve yourself with or you get attracted to, feel free to come along with that. And more I will be sharing and spreading whatever I can on this journey to let you and all of us know that we're not alone and what you feel inside is genuine. There's a lot that has been removed from the truth, and I think part of our missions here and part of a lot of us is awakening to that truth and acknowledging that truth and empowering ourselves. And part of my mission, I think, is to use my voice to speak up about those things and to let you know that everything that you have been feeling, everything that you have gone through, everything that you know that hasn't been right, you're valid. And if no one's ever told you, no one's ever given you that word of encouragement, I'm going to tell you you're valid. You know something deep within, deep down, deep within, but you might not have a word for it. But knowing that your circumstances and situations aren't fair and isn't how it should be. And my whole goal is to spread and share whatever I can to help balance the scales, if that makes sense. So I think that's it for tonight. That's all I was called on to share, is that you are capable of saving yourself and you are empowered within you. You just have to find her. And little by little, you can almost like dig through a lot of that darkness and a lot of that cloud and a lot of that rubble that has been covered amongst you and everybody else. And I think that's all I have for tonight. All right, sending you my love, and I hope you have a good night, and we'll connect in the next one.